Live. This is CBS 7 News at 6. Your eye on West Texas.
We begin tonight with some breaking news. A storm system seen here, which has dropped 3 to 6 inches of snow in Colorado, could be headed our way. Believe it or not, it will bring a cold day tomorrow. This is no April Fool's joke.
Good evening. This is CBS 7 News at 6. We start off with the weather today. Today, warm temperatures, sunny skies, but get ready because some changes could be headed our way.
Yeah, like 30-degree difference. How about that? Tell us all about it. Weather Authority Tom Tieferteller is in the Weather Center right now with a look at what we can expect. A big change coming.
Yes, we are going to see that strong cold front roll in overnight tonight. In fact, let's take a look at the temperature forecast, show you the change rolling in as those temperatures will be dropping off quite a bit. By the early morning hours, we're going to start to see the 40s roll in across northern parts of the Permian Basin. That's the cold front that will be moving across, dropping temperatures quite a bit. It looks like highs only into the mid 40s. Across the central Permian Basin, around 38 for Andrews, as we start to see some snow move into parts of the northern Permian Basin, and then that cold air expected to make it all the way down towards the Presidio Valley by the evening hours and stay cold into Friday night. Here's a look at the sky forecast showing you the clouds start to gather overnight tonight. Then we start off with a few showers along the front in the early morning hours, about 5 to 6 in the morning, staying that way through 8 o'clock as that front moves across. Then we start to see a rain snow mix in the forecast southeast of Mexico, across parts of the northern Permian Basin, even some areas of just snow there across areas around Seminole and La Mesa. Then it starts to thin out a little bit, but those are areas where we could see some light accumulations of snow for the early hours, I should say the early afternoon hours coming up on your Friday. But we're not expecting too many travel problems out of this, just a rare instant of some late snow out there early in April. We are going to see a few clouds though in the forecast start to gather again for the evening hours and into the early part of the overnight, but that front will hold off until the early morning hours before we start to see the big change with the temperatures early on your Friday.
All right, Tom, thanks very much. Breaking news you saw first on our CBS 7 mobile app. 2 parents are now behind bars tonight, charged with kidnapping their own son. Our cameras were rolling late yesterday as the child was taken back into CPS custody after police say he was taken from the CPS office during a supervised visit. CBS 7 has now uncovered details of a violent incident at the family's home back in July of 2014. Arrest affidavits reveal Pamela Iglesias, who was pregnant at the time, told officers she was slammed to the ground by her husband, Joshua Quijano. CBS 7's Amanda DeBerry has been looking into the couple's history and asking questions about how this could happen under the care of CPS. She joins us. Amanda?
Jay and Tatum, police say it was the family's violent history and drug use, which is outlined here in this affidavit in my hand, that lost them custody of their son to begin with. Yesterday's incident took things even further for the couple. The scene unfolded before our eyes Wednesday. A 2-year-old taken from the CPS office. Today, both of his parents facing a serious kidnapping charge.
Joshua Quijano did not have custody. This was not a civil matter. This was a real kidnapping.
Police say the child was removed from the family due to family violence and drug use. A court order was in place. Police believe the father walked out of CPS after taking his son to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the mother was waiting for them outside.
She was present. She knew what was occurring. And they intentionally abducted their 2-year-old son.
We asked CPS questions about how they were able to take the child during a supervised visit. CPS says there were no protocol violations and no internal protocols will be changed.
The best thing is to be compliant because you're eventually going to get caught. And a lot of times you're just making it worse for yourself.
As for their side of the story, we went to Quijano's home today, but no one was home to answer. By the way, Joshua and Pamela are here at the Ector County Jail with a $25,000 bond, both facing the same felony kidnapping charge, which carries up to 10 years in prison. Reporting live in Odessa, Amanda DeBerry, CBS 7 News.
Amanda, thank you very much. We did press into Child Protective Services for some answers on how the father was able to take the child from the bathroom during that supervised visit. Although they would not answer specific questions, they did confirm that, quote, supervision was taking place while the child was in the bathroom.
Justice has been served for the man accused of stealing more than $30,000 from the local chapter of the Disabled American Veterans. Edward Cano was arrested last year on a third-degree felony of misappropriation of financial property.
Today, Cano agreed to a plea deal where he will pay $10,000 in restitution to the DAV. CBS 7's Kiera Powell tells us what led up to today's decision.
After more than a year, the case was finally laid to rest early this morning after the state and Edward Cano finally came to a plea agreement. It happened around 8 o'clock this morning inside the Midland County Courthouse.
The road to Cano's day in court started more than a year ago after Commander Paul Reed noticed inconsistencies with the DAV's finances. At the time, Edward Cano was the group's secretary.
This individual would become upset and angry when I asked him questions, and during my law enforcement time and criminal justice time, is that if I came up to someone and just simply questioned about something and they got really angry about it, there's something there.
Reed took his suspicions to the DAV headquarters, who confirmed that Cano had been skimming money from the books, prompting Reed and the local chapter to move forward with criminal charges. But not everyone agreed with their decision.
A lot of people, not only in our organization, but some local people that will go unnamed, advise us not to file charges. Your contributions, you won't receive a dime.
However, their warnings were unwarranted. Reed has seen donations almost quadruple since Cano left office.
I think it had a lot to do with our positive action on taking care of the problem, and we continue to ask for the public trust.
Since Cano's termination, the local DAV has put new protocols in place to prevent this type of situation from ever happening again.
Under the plea agreement, Cano will not serve any jail time. He was instead given probation. In Midland, Kiera Powell, CBS 7 News.
Kiera, thanks very much. Happening right now, the Ector County School District is hosting a parent meeting at Cameron Elementary School, where families could see changes this coming fall. The district is changing the school to a full-time magnet application-only program. CBS 7's Alexa Dunson is live at that meeting. Alexa, what's the feeling among parents tonight?
Hey guys, I'm here outside Cameron Elementary School, where the district is currently meeting with the parents to tell them about the big changes headed their way next school year. Now, earlier this week, ECISD did approve to make Cameron Elementary a full-time dual language magnet school program. Now, currently there are 650 kids enrolled here at this school, and this change will affect about 130 of those kids. However, it is important to mention that any students who are currently in the 4th grade, they will be grandfathered into the 5th grade next year. Now, current students who are in the 2nd and 3rd grade, they will have to take a test to attend this school next year. They have to test to make sure that they have enough skills in Spanish to attend this school. Now, kids 1st grade or younger, they don't have to test. The district says they feel like they're young enough to teach them those Spanish skills that they need to learn moving forward. Now, any of the students who don't want to be in this dual language program will attend Zavala Elementary School next school year. Now, that is the newest elementary school with ECISD. Now, that meeting is currently going on inside of Cameron Elementary School. I will be talking with the principal after that meeting's over, and we'll bring you that interview tonight at 10. But for now, reporting live in Odessa, Alexa Dunson, CBS 7 News.
Alexa, thanks very much. New details on the STAR test glitch that caused test answers to go unsaved yesterday. The glitch impacted a total of 14 students across 6 different schools in ECISD. The issues were resolved, and all 14 have now taken that test again. That's according to school officials. The glitch also affected schools in Big Spring ISD and Forsan, but it did not impact schools in Midland or Coahoma. The TEA officials have taken full responsibility, releasing a statement saying that districts are not required to have those students complete the test. School districts are encouraged to look at each individual case and decide if continuing the test is in the best interest of the student.
Today, the city of Andrews celebrating a big moment. The town unveiled their new water treatment plant. The ribbon cutting for the $5 million project was held earlier today. As you may recall, the city of Andrews had some concerns about high levels of arsenic in their water. This new plant has helped to clean up the problem. In fact, they are at 0 traces of arsenic at this time, meaning the town's water is now in compliance with the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality.
Happening at this hour, Midland police are near the Bolero bowling alley on Loop 250 in Midland, where someone found what they thought was an explosive device in a field nearby.
We're told the police tell us it is not a bomb, but instead some sort of training device. There is no threat. CBS 7's Deanne Lopez is on the scene now and joins us with the latest. Deanne?
Jay and Tatum, Midland police are just wrapping up the scene over here. Just a few minutes ago, a portion of Holiday Hill Road right here was closed off. We're going to show you what detectives are telling me is that some type of device, that they're saying it was a dummy round that's used for training purposes, was found on the grass area over here in the parking lot of Bolero. After looking at it, one of their lieutenants who has an extensive military background and experience, he took a look at that device and said that there was nothing to be alarmed about, and they're actually going to be taking that device back to their range so that they could evaluate it, and they're going to dispose of it properly. But again, there was nothing to be alarmed about here. They were just doing protocol, and that's all we know at this time. Reporting live in Midland, Deanne Lopez, CBS 7 News.
Deanne, thanks very much. After the break, we're going to talk about some big changes in weather headed our way, so make sure you keep your jackets handy. Looks like winter is going to make one final appearance.
Here's a look outside tonight. Beautiful day today. Temperatures up in the 70s. Not going to be the story tomorrow. In fact, we'll get a full update as Weather Authority Tom Tieferteller talks about some cold weather headed our way. You're watching CBS 7 News, your eye on West Texas.
Well, we are on the weather watch once again as we're looking for a strong cold front to roll in overnight tonight and bring some winter weather back to the forecast. Quiet afternoon, though, live iCam over the city of Odessa on top of Chase Bank. We are looking at, again, relatively quiet conditions this afternoon with just a few clouds drifting across, and temperatures have been very mild today. We're up to 74 now out at the Odessa Midland area at the airport. 70 in Big Spring, 73 in Pecos, 74 in Fort Stockton. Warm spot Presidio, 81, and you're going to have to wait till this time tomorrow to get in on the cold air, it looks like, as we're going to see the front roll down in the morning. Mixed bag on the winds right now, north and northeast, but they're relatively light, except down here in the mountain areas. We're starting to pick up a pretty good west wind, and that'll continue to be the case for most of the evening. Now, here's what's going on. You can see this storm system right here spinning right out of Canada. It is buckling the jet stream, and it's getting a good tap of colder Canadian air behind this front that's really showing up there from Colorado back across portions of Kansas. Starting moving close to the Texas Panhandle. That's what's going to be rolling in towards the early morning hours as it spreads off to the south and southeast and bring a big change to our weather. Now, looking at the sky forecast, the clouds, the moisture, the rain, well, we are going to see plenty of clouds overnight tonight, after midnight especially. Then here comes that front, stopping the clock here about 5 to 5:30 in the morning. Seeing showers really start to pop up along this front. May see a rumble of thunder. Wouldn't be surprised, but for the most part, just keeping them showers as this front rolls around, hits some Gulf moisture, and that's what brings the scattered showers to the area. And those are going to stay around in our forecast for the early part of Friday as that cold air really starts to filter in. And then we're going to start to see the changeover to a rain, snow, maybe even all snow here across portions of the northern Permian Basin. And that's going to stay around for the noontime hour, then start to dissipate a little bit as we get in towards the afternoon as that colder air, that drier air really starts to spill in. Snowfall amounts, well, we're going to see the bulk of them back here across portions of the Sacramento Mountains. Ruidoso looking at 3 to 6 inches of snow. Some light amounts here accumulating across parts of the northern Permian Basin. This is where we could see 1 to 2 inches of snow accumulate on the grass, on the trees. That's why we have these winter weather advisories up across southeast of Mexico, Guadalupe Mountains National Park, and across parts of the northwest, north central Permian Basin, including Andrews and Seminole, for possibly 1 to 2 inches of snow. But again, just light accumulations on the grass areas is really about all we're going to see out of this. So again, a cold one tomorrow, only topping out around 45 before we see a little bit of moderation in temperatures coming up on Saturday with clearing skies and then lots of sunshine. Best day of the weekend looks to be on Sunday with 75 degrees. Then back to spring weather next week with temperatures warming up above normal into the mid-80s and the wind back in our forecast Tuesday and Wednesday with some heightened fire danger concerns. But in the meantime, though, Tatum, I hope you have your jackets and sweaters ready, not packed up just yet, because Big change on the way.
Always, there's always that one last cold snap.
Oh,
isn't there?
yes. This is it.
Here it is. Yeah.
Tom, thank you.
Petroleum, when we come back, we've got a lot more to tell you about.
You're watching CBS 7 News, your eye on West Texas. The Petroleum Museum unveiled 2 exhibits today after a much-anticipated facelift at the museum. The exhibits aim to reflect the history, culture, and technology of the petroleum industry in our time. Today, the media got a first look at the new exhibits and the $18 million renovation. The museum says they're excited to finally share these new features with the community. The exhibits are set to open to the public this Saturday on April 2nd.
I think our biggest hope is that a visitor will walk away with a much better grasp of the industry and a fascination of the science and the technology that goes into it. That's really our greatest hope.
Again, all of the fun and the new exhibits are available this Saturday.
One of the Etcher County School District's K-9 officers will have extra protection thanks to a donation. Diesel received a bulletproof vest today. According to Jeff Daniels with the Etcher County School District Police, they felt it was important to have this type of protection for their K-9 because one of Diesel's jobs is to track and often put in situations when the dog is not always with his handler. Diesel is not alone. Reagan is his partner in crime fighting. They are assigned to schools across the district.
Marcia Hughes is up next with a look at sports. Stay with us.
The Permian Lady Panthers soccer team will be on the field in Alpine tomorrow. It's a second-round playoff matchup against El Paso Socorro. The Lady Panthers are led by Sam Vestal. The senior Abilene Christian commit has started for Lady Mojo all 4 years. She set the school scoring record her freshman year. Since then, Vestal has broken her own mark each year, but a goal tomorrow will give her 30 this season. That's something she has never done.
It's a big deal being able to get to 30 at least. I mean, I've always wanted to get to 30 throughout this high school years, and it would be a big deal to me. It'd be amazing, honestly. It'd be like a dream come true.
It's almost indescribable how well she can get in and out of spaces with the ball at her feet. We've had teams that have man-marked her, double-teamed her, triple-teamed her. We've had teams that have tried to box around her and play a zone around her, and she still finds a way.
Vestal and the Lady Panthers are on the field tomorrow at 3:30. Let's stay with soccer. 5 players from the World Cup winning U.S. women's national team have accused the U.S. Soccer Federation of wage discrimination. An action filed with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission today. Alex Morgan, Carly Lloyd, and Hope Solo, among others, say they were paid nearly 4 times less than their male counterparts on the U.S. men's national team. The Lubbock Christian Lady Chaps basketball team is 34-0 this season. LCU has maintained the #1 ranking in the country throughout the year and is now 1 win away from bringing a Division II championship back to West Texas. They couldn't have done it without one Midland native either. Kelsey Hopple is a former Midland Lady Bulldog. The Lubbock Christian senior scored 20 points in the Final Four win over Bentley last week. Hopple redshirted last year. She sat out on the bench in what would have been her senior year, but she did so with a purpose. LCU has spent the past few years transitioning from NAIA ball to Division II. This is the first season the Lady Chaps have been allowed to compete for a championship at that D2 level, and well, Hopple's making the most of it.
Getting here where we are, it's definitely worth it. You know, even if we didn't make this far, I feel like it'd be worth it, you know, just being able to sit out that year to actually compete, like, you know, set goals this year. And, you know, actually meeting that goal is amazing. And I'm just so glad I got to do it with, you know, this team and these coaches. And, yeah, it was definitely worth it for sure.
Lady Chaps' Twitter account posted this picture today after the team arrived in Indianapolis. Hopple and LCU will use the weekend to practice before game day hits on Monday. We're back after this. Stay with us.